Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the Intern, Ned Reynolds, back in the studio on a very cold Wednesday morning. He just stopped cuddling me. I appreciate the warm-up, though, and you get in here. You're warm-blooded, Ned, and I appreciate you coming in here and warming me up every morning.
Don't tell him that, Mike. Come on, man.
I just don't. Hey, look, it took me years to get to that point with Ned. Don't think that you can just stop him on the street and he's going to warm you up. It don't work like that, man. This takes time and energy.
Well, I've got to get. I will, but I have to give a payment for it, like little JD.
Oh, you know where it is. So I try to lighten the mood a little bit because we did, in fact, lose a great player for the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday. I knew it was coming, though, especially after the season Nick Bolt had. Hitch was a great leader on the D, but it seems that the team is going to retool that defense, and that starts with he is essentially the quarterback for the defense, so he gone.
You're absolutely right, though. It was no surprise. Everybody kind of knew he was going, and I really think this is going to signal a remake of the defensive team. I wouldn't be surprised to see Frank Clark go in the next couple of days, too. These are guys who are really good players, dedicated players. I question Clark's sociological attitude, but over and above that, they're good players. But in pro football and in any contact sport of that nature, your effective lifespan is not very long, and they realize it, and the owners and the management realizes it. And Anthony Hitchens, although he's only, 29 years old, something like that, really wasn't performing the way the Chiefs felt that he should, and there needs to be a replacement. Not that he's a bad player. He's not. Came over from the Dallas Cowboys, University of Iowa guy. But, hey, the time's come and time to make a change.
Yeah, and we knew that one was coming. Clark, see what happens there. I have a feeling he gone, though.
I would be very surprised if he's around.
And I really would like them to keep Tyrann, but again, you've already made the case for the age, and he had a great season. I mean, obviously, he won the Derek Thomas Award last week, but what about next season? And he was injury prone. He kind of got a little banged up towards the end of the season. It's not that he can't do it or doesn't want to do it. It's just what can his body actually.
It hasn't happened to him yet, but in visiting with Danon Hughes the other day, he said, look, don't be surprised if there are some very surprising, eye-opening cuts from that team. What you have to do, you have to stay young in pro football.
I think they definitely need to get rid of D-Rob on the offensive side of the ball. I think that definitely needs to happen. But we'll see what happens. They are getting paid to do it, not us. Now, we do have the scouting combine next week in Indy. What in the hell's going on there, man?
Almost didn't come off. Now, the NFL relented yesterday, but they put in a mandate to all the players coming in that they would have to live in a bubble again this year. Hey, folks, that's a zero. Absolute zero. Talk to any of the basketball teams that went to the tournaments last year that lived in that bubble. It is really, really difficult to do. You're in a room for the rest of the day until you go out on the basketball court. Well, in the bubble, in the combine, the players said no. And the agents said no. They've got to have some freedom. Pandemic may be waning. We hope it is. But, hey, to put them in a bubble, that's a zero. That ain't going to work. These guys aren't going to show up. NFL said, no, I think they're right. So they relented on that. The players will not have to be in a bubble, but they will have to follow a protocol as far as going around the surrounding area of Indianapolis, where they have this in Lucas Stadium. And the relenting says, you guys can go out, but you're at your own risk. Well, come on. That's really nitpicking in my opinion, but the players will be allowed a sense of freedom.
Well, I can tell you right now, if they're out there playing for a possibility at playing pro football, they're not going out to the club. Come on, man. They're probably going to be in their own bubble of their own doing anyway. That's how this thing works. Talk to these guys. They're not all out partying every night.
Heavens, no.
At least the ones that are serious about having a job in the NFL. Last but not least, Mizzou and Arkansas played last night. Arkansas looking great. Tigers.
Arkansas got a very nice win.
They did.
On the road in Gainesville, Florida, Arkansas knocked off the Florida Gators, and the final was 82-74. Mizzou, you knew this was going to happen. Tennessee is a nationally ranked team. They're really good. Coach Rick Barnes has a great collection of athletes. Mizzou hung with them for a little while, but Missouri does not have that talent. and they don't really have the talent to compete effectively in the SEC this year. Tennessee won it by a score of 80-61. Could have been a lot worse than that. Tennessee is really a good team. They're a sleeper in that SEC tournament and in the NCAA, and I think they will get in the NCAA without any problem. Hey, watch out for them. They can play.
Yeah, Tennessee's going to be something to contend with for sure. Hey, Ned's got a secret camera and microphone hidden in the offices where they have those baseball talks. You probably didn't know that. He had to actually go in there dressed up as a maintenance guy, but hey, got away with it, and now you can see what the hell these guys are talking about. We moving in the right direction?
Well, first of all, no, I was dressed up as an umpire because nobody's going to screw with them.
You're not supposed to be getting attention. You got to go in low key, man. You got to go in low key.
I guess it all depends on your definition of progress. The progress is that they are going to meet again today, and there was, I found this to be significant. There was no statement yesterday from the media as to whether progress was made or no progress was made. There was no comment. Now, whether or not that's a good sign, bad sign, I don't know, but there wasn't any statement as such. But they will meet again today. They did agree on that, and maybe there were some new proposals that are opening up a few eyes. Hope so, but if not, they're shooting themselves in the foot. They are just creating a monster that the public is not going to accept.
I have a feeling you're going to get an early birthday present this year. We'll see. Hopefully it comes next, or at least
it'd have to be this weekend.
Yeah, it has to be by the end of this week. Last but not least, we did have some college baseball being played. Who got the dub against the Bears?
Yeah, unfortunately, it was Oral Roberts that got the win with a ninth-inning walk-off base hit in a game that was played, good gracious sakes, with wind chill below freezing. It was around 20-25 in Tulsa yesterday, but they still went on to win. The Bears are a good team, folks. They had many chances to win this game yesterday, couldn't pull it off. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Not playing at home, playing on the road after a 3-game series in Conway, Arkansas, and playing in cold conditions. Anything can happen. I don't think it's indicative of any kind of playing this weekend. Supposedly it was to be here in town. It will not be. It'll be in Arlington, Texas, suburb of Dallas, and they will play, they being the Bears, Cal Poly. But it's a good chance to get the games in and out of what are really tough conditions up here.
Yeah, speaking of which, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of turnout for the last home game for the Missouri State Bears, unfortunately, because of the weather. But don't let that hold you back, especially if you live close by. It's your last chance to see this team.
The interesting thing about it, Mike, there hasn't been a great turnout even when things happen.
Yeah, I know. That's a sucky part about
it. And it isn't funny. It isn't funny at all, and I'm not making fun of it, but something's happened in which the crowds don't have quite the passion. There's some, of course. Go to the game, you've got passion in it, but they have been missing. Anyway, you bring up the point. This is the final regular season home game of the year for the Bears. They play Bradley. This is not a walkover. Bradley is a good team. They are only one game back of the Bears in the standing. Bradley would love to come in here and create a tie with Missouri State. Actually, it would really benefit them for third place in the Valley. I don't think the Bears are going to get first seed. But over and above that, the pressure is going to have to be on because Missouri State did not play all that effectively against Northern Iowa on Sunday. And Bradley is a solid basketball team. It's 7 o'clock tonight. It's senior night. Bears lose 2 seniors off this club, one of whom is Gage Prim, who has been a really rock-solid player for the Bears. That'll be a loss. The other one is a 1-year transfer. Minette, Javen Minette came over from what we like to call UIPUI. It's an acronym, IUPUI. It's Indianapolis University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, or Indiana University.
Gotta say that 5 times fast.
There's no way. I've never heard their announcers before. I'd like to know how in the world
I know. I'm watching you do it. I'm like, holy crap. I'm going to have to go transfer schools. That's probably why you got out. Damn. Well, get your ass out there and root on the Bears. That's what you need to do, Ned. You be safe today, and I'll see you tomorrow.